Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to this pick a pile reading for what lesson you're meant to learn at this time. We do have 3 different piles to choose from: pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. If you need to pause the video in order to choose your pile, you can go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I will see you in your reading. Okay, group number 1. Let's see what lesson you're learning at this time. We have crystals, focus, golden palace, number 23. The Metal King, discipline, armor, boundaries, 37. Number 5, orphaned. Uncovering treasure, beneath the surface lies a great bounty. That's similar to the Golden Palace. Begin to explore. Knowledge, number 34. And the Lion. Okay. A lot of things. A lot of things coming up in your reading already. Okay. The biggest lesson is to maintain a vision, to maintain focus, to maintain a goal. You need to be like locked in. Okay. You need to learn how to put up the boundaries that need to be put up, right? To protect yourself, to set limits on who has your energy, how much of your energy they can have. And maybe it's not even a they, maybe it's a place. It could be work, whatever. But you keep putting yourself in positions, like the repetitive lesson here is putting yourself in positions where you feel orphaned, where you feel ostracized, abandoned, left behind. This could literally be an orphan. Maybe one person watching right now was adopted or orphaned at a young age. Or maybe you just don't have a lot of family, a lot of friends, and you feel isolated or alone. Using crystals at this time definitely will help, by the way. 100%. You're working with a dragon, spirit animal, and the lion. But the lesson is like learning how to dig. Almost Gemini or mercurial in nature, okay? Like I'm getting the sense of like needing to study, needing to research, needing to get the details, not leaving any stone unturned. Don't look at things at face value, only at face value. Make sure that you look underneath, look beneath the surface, okay? A lesson right now for you is also trusting that there's more going on than meets the eye. There's more going on than what you might see on ground level, okay? There's more than just the ground level. There's a basement. There's 3 levels up. There's an attic. There's a roof, okay? That's what I want to say. Self-discipline, keeping yourself focused, like I said, maintaining a vision to create whatever this golden palace is. A lesson is that you deserve a golden palace, that you can attain a golden palace, okay? You have the attractive manifestation ability to co-create with the universe to build a golden palace. Meaning, you're a castle in the sky, all right? Your dream, your vision, your goal. Pride. Pride is a lesson. Courage, bravery, okay? You're a regal. You're royal. You're special. I've got 3 different cards telling me that you have this attractive quality about you, or you have an ability to, well, an ability. You're very highly skilled in something. You're very highly sought after, or maybe you just don't believe in yourself, or I don't know. The lesson is believing that you can attract revenue, abundance, whatever, because you are good at what you do and people seek you out. People are drawn to you naturally. You're a natural leader. King archetype. All right. The lesson is also learning a lesson in being orphaned. I'm going to be honest. That's there. You might find yourself getting caught in loops, karmic loops, where you're always left alone, or you feel lonely, alone, detached, isolated, singled out. It's a test of protection, and it's a test of knowing how to set boundaries. It's also a test of knowing yourself. Exploration is a lesson. Okay? Literally, like exploring. You keep yourself cooped up too much. You go into hermit mode and then you get stuck there. There's almost, I'm feeling like this is a literal thing. Like you need to go out, try new food, try new places, go on vacation more. Like go travel. Someone is like, they want someone watching right now, okay? You want to be a travel blogger, like, or something like that, like vlogging. You know, like some people do videos of them like doing food critic things or travel critic things, travel videos, whatever. Okay, something along those lines. But just in general, you get comfortable or complacent and you do the same old, same old. You need to open up more. Don't be afraid to try new things. You might uncover some stuff about yourself that you didn't know was there. You might find a hobby or an interest that you didn't know was there. Yeah. Not getting distracted, not getting tempted. It's definitely a lesson of just staying focused, staying on the road, you know? And I know that can be tough, especially when dealing with distractions or this version of self that says we don't deserve or we can't manifest our golden palace. It's easy to lose track, lose faith. Being more, I will say one more thing before we get the tarot. The Metal King for me can sometimes just be too cold, too detached, too calculated, trying to constantly escape. Yeah, this is definitely a lesson. Because you go through lessons and tests of abandonment issues, you might find that maybe with one person or one situation or multiple, whatever, you turn into a person where you feel like you have to constantly be in survival mode or protect yourself, and you have a hard time opening up and letting the real part of you out or letting people in. Letting people in is what I want to say with that for sure. Yeah. You have like a tendency to, and I'm not saying this in a way where I'm pointing the finger at you and judging. I would never do that, okay? All of us have problems. Every person has an issue, right? You might have a tendency to try to control or try to overpower because you feel like it's your burden, it's your problem, your issue. Let's talk about problems and issues. You feel like you have no other choice, right? So you take that role. You put yourself in positions where you feel like you have to volunteer for the challenge, volunteer for the problem, volunteer for the workload, volunteer for the whatever. A lot. You give a lot. You're a giver and you're a leader. You're a natural born giver, a natural born leader. Okay. And it puts you in positions where too much of yourself is given. And you just you end up struggling. You end up pushing yourself past the limit. So the boundaries is also a lesson of like setting boundaries with yourself, staying focused on one task at a time kind of a thing, like trying not to do 10 things at once. Believing that you have other options and other choices. You have these limited beliefs that you need to work on. You feel Again, yeah, you feel like you have no way out. Focus on the vision, focus on the goal, focus on what's ahead, what's on the horizon. Don't be afraid to try new things. You've got the Fool card. The lesson is that you limit your options unintentionally, maybe, I don't know, but you limit your options on new adventures. You have a very, this is very Capricornian. I'm feeling such a big Capricorn energy. You have a very likely tendency to armor up, protect yourself, but you overdo it to the point where you stop new opportunities. You're too serious. You're too serious about things sometimes, and that's okay. All right, again, we all do it. You have to learn to be more carefree, right? More childlike in nature. Because you are definitely working through the king archetype. So for you, it's like, I have to take care of my kingdom. I have to provide, protect for everybody. I have to do everything for everybody. So where's the child archetype? Because we all have that as a survival archetype, right? The child, the prostitute, the victim, and the saboteur. We have those archetypes. Everybody. So the carefree part of you that wants to just have a good time, to enjoy the simplicity of life, to get excited about what's around the corner, right? What's next? There's no excitement. There's just rigidity, authority, control. It's like you're being asked to drop the burden of being the grumpy old person and try to go back to being a 10-year-old kid who's excited about the ice cream truck. I think you've lost how to be a kid. This is very much about inner child healing. How to be more than the provider, the protector, the king. Maybe your childhood was taken away at a young age, or you had to grow up too fast. You had the weight of the world, big responsibilities. Maybe you do now, but as much as it is okay to be a giver, group number one, it is okay to be a receiver. It's almost like it's foreign to you, like it's confusing, like you don't even know where to start to unravel these limited belief systems. Because I think that deep down, or intuitively, you know that you're doing this to yourself. But again, it's almost like, if you don't do it, who else is going to do it? If you don't take care of it, who else is going to take care of it? I think you put way too much pressure on yourself, way too high of expectations. You feel like if it's not, like it has to be a lot. Like you feel like it has to be heavy as the crown, right? If it's not heavy, then you're not doing it right, or something along those lines. I think, I don't know if you were just raised in a very strict household, or you've been in a lot of relationships where, again, a lot of pressure has been put on you. But this, like, workaholic almost mentality, you gotta drop it. The lesson is on authority of self and authority and power of others, and then situations, you know? You've got the Seven of Cups twice. How to open up to options. Now you got the Four of Cups on the Emperor, Hermit on the Eight of Swords, Five of Wands on the Ten of Wands, Seven of Cups on the Six of Pentacles, Nine of Cups on the Seven of Cups, and then the Five of Cups on the Fool. You have this, like, I will be honest. You have this tendency, again, these are about tendencies here. In your reading, it's about tendencies. What do you tend to do? You tend to receive offers, opportunities, whatever, and you tend to reject them without giving them a chance. Why? Because you feel like you have to be in control. Again, I'm not judging and I'm not trying to spew negativity. These are just good things to be aware of, because you are moving into a place of self-awareness. You are learning a lot about yourself, about your habits, about your functions, about your thoughts, your emotions. You are on a self-discovery mission right now, right? So you have to ask yourself, why are you scared? Because this is fear. I'm going to be honest. This is fear of trying new things. Fear of rejection as well. So then this internal battle starts to play out, right? Of, do I try it and get hurt? Risk getting hurt? This is about risks. Risks versus rewards. You don't risk a lot. I think, again, either at a young age or just a lot in life, you like have this like lesson now in your head. It's like the end all be all of this lesson of like risks are never worth the rewards. But the lesson is actually to continue to try things, to continue to take risks, take gambles, take leaps of faith. Because you lost a lot, right? You gambled and you lost a lot, or there was one big loss. And now it's like prohibiting you, stopping you, limiting you from other options and choices, which could be very, very abundant, very balanced. But you're refusing to give it a try because you lost the dreamer, the poet, the child, that kind of archetype within you. You lost it. You have a hard time dreaming because you feel like dreams are a waste of time, or dreams are too much work, or they're you don't have the time, you don't have the money, you don't have the effort, you don't have the energy to even deal with it. What happened to the happy dream, group number 1, right? You get too caught up in the anxieties and the worry of the tension of what the vision is that you forget that, like, I know it's going to be annoying to hear it, but you forget to like enjoy the journey of it all. You can focus on that vision and stay maintaining focus. Because I'm feeling like this lesson of focus might be that you focus too much. You hyper focus. You hyper fixate on things. Maybe the whole like tunnel vision thing is not a good thing right now. Maybe it's about just, softening the gaze, letting loose, relaxing. Relax your muscles. Like, is your jaw clenched right now? Are your shoulders tight right now? Was the last time you took a deep breath? These are all lessons right now. You should be proud of yourself. I'm not saying don't be proud of you. Don't, I'm not saying let go of all control and power. You're very, again, natural born leader, natural born giver. But this stoicism or rigidity needs to fall away. Okay? I'm going to leave it there. If you need more clarity, my website is in the description box for personal readings, or check out another reading on the channel. I have plenty of them. I hope that this helped. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, group number 2. Let's see what lesson you need to learn right now. Wow. We're off to a great start. Right out of the gate, DNA karma. Come together, number 8. The Sun Dancers, joyful activity, celebration of life and abundance. Number 32. Community, number 8 again. So 8 is definitely your number. Taking shelter, the answers are within. Live your soul, not a role. Group number 2, these messages are going to be pretty straightforward. I've been trying to keep them around 15 to 20 minutes for each group, but I don't know. Your reading might be super fast. Shift. And the shark. You need to be more aggressive. You need to be more assertive. You need to dominate your space more, especially in your community, in your tribes, family, lovers, whatever. The people that you spend a lot of time with, you need to be more pushy, okay, about your joy, about what makes you happy, and your sense of abundance. There's definitely a message here for someone who's living the role and not their soul. They are just, you're putting yourself in a position where you're just very living a mechanistic life, a very mundane life, a very 9 to 5, go to bed, wake up, do it all over again. It's just it's gross. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like this energy. It feels like feeling like a robot, feeling like you're forced into, I don't know, just doing something just because it's you're a Mr. or a Mrs. or you're a doctor or a teacher or a mother or whatever. The role, okay? And you've lost your sense of soul. That's why DNI karma is here. Whatever the case is, everyone in group 2 that's watching right now, emotional depth is a lesson. Karmic clearing is a lesson. How you connect in relationships is a lesson. How you show up in relationships, how you have heart to heart in relationships, how you talk to people in relationships, how you listen to people in relationships, how you, I don't know why I want to say confess, but that's the word that's coming up right now. I was trying to say how you let people know what your happiness is, but yeah, how you voice it, how you voice your happiness, but confess is a crazy word for me to come up with, because that means that you are holding it in, you are hiding it. So, or you don't know. Maybe that's why this taking shelter card is here. The lesson is, okay, well, if the answer is within, what is your who are you as a sun dancer? What makes you celebrate life? What brings you to life? What brings joy to your life? What makes you feel alive, happy to wake up, right? Makes you smile, makes you laugh. Shifting is a lesson. Being able to shift from one to the next. Either you're doing that too much or you're not doing it enough. I think that you're not doing it enough. You're not allowing a shift to happen. The shift is sitting there, waiting for a karmic resolution and karmic clearance. And you're not accessing it. You're not allowing it to play out. You're not allowing it to manifest. A shift from a role to a soul living. Soul living. Emotional depth. That's why the shark is here. Do you see all that lack of color? Right? There's no color. The lesson, I think, is that you've outgrown a group of people or a person. You've outgrown maybe a group of friends, maybe people at work, maybe a work situation. You've outgrown it. You're no longer resonating with that group of people or those people or that place, okay? It's just not karmically yours anymore. Like you're done karmically with it. And if you're feeling it on a DNA level, that means that you can get physical symptoms, right? You can feel emotionally sick. You can get constant headaches. You can feel like you have to emotionally escape. This is your emotions. Emotional. Maybe you get emotional around them or in that environment. Maybe you get extra sensitive. Those are all signs, indicators of something's wrong, right? You're not resonating anymore. You're not vibrating with it. You have to shift. You have to get out. It's almost like you can't breathe, like you're drowning. This is very intense energy for this group. And it could just be them resonating with one person. If this is not resonating, then check out another reading, okay? Or book a personal reading with me downstairs. I almost said down in the description box, all right? Because this feels like somebody who's just dealing with like suffocation, like they're just suffocating in a job, or I hate to say it, but maybe at home or with a group of friends. It's just And I don't think that you know. I think you've closed off your intuition. You've closed off your sense of knowing. So you're being asked to go within. Ask yourself, really, truly ask yourself, am I happy? Do I feel abundant? Am I in a place where I can be the sun dancer? Because something is calling you to live your soul, right? Something is calling you to feel more alive, to put yourself in a position where you can, like I'm just seeing someone gasping for air out of the water. I keep seeing that. They're showing me that over and over. This is intense. Karmic clearing. Like this is it. You know what I mean? This is the kind of lesson where it's like, it's now or never. If you don't do this now, you might be stuck in this loop for years. And maybe you do that. Maybe you put yourself in repetitive cycles where you get stuck in situations for years and years and years. Do you really want to do this all over again the next lifetime? I don't think so. That's kind of what gets me going sometimes. I'm like, you know what? I got to do it now. I got to stop now or I'm going to do it again next lifetime. And that sucks. No, nobody wants that, There's a lot of imagery on the table too of just intertwining, meshing, right? Like energy exchange, energy transference, soulmate contracts, those things, right? How do you mesh with people or a person? Does it blend well? Does it make you happy? Did a shift happen recently? Does a shift need to happen? I'm not surprised, right? It's no coincidence that this card is yellow, the color of happiness, the color of the sun, of the solar plexus, your self-esteem, your inner child, your ability to make decisions. Those all sit in that solar plexus. Your creativity. I know that sits in the sacral for most part, but there is some creativity within the solar plexus. Your life force energy, your chi. Your chi sits there. All of that. How do you intertwine? How do you exchange energy with another person or a group of people, right? Does it feel blocked? Does it feel like you're giving away too much, like you're dealing with a vampire archetype? Does it feel like it's an overabundance of it, like there's too much energy, right? Ask yourself that. Use your body as an answer. Look within. That's the lesson, is how to trust the answer within. How do you trust your intuition, your gut instincts, that solar plexus to shift? Right? 889. Let's look that up, actually. That was a weird way for me to say that. Hold on a minute. 889. A significant phase in your life is concluding to make way for new abundant beginnings, encouraging you to focus to service to others, spiritual growth, and personal success. Closing chapters. The number 889 signifies that certain aspects of your life, job, relationship, or mindset are ending, allowing you to move forward, to shift to a more fulfilling path. I'm not making this shit up. Group number 3, 2. I said 3. I might say 2. Maybe you wanted to watch group number 3. Emotional depth, so that you can close a chapter and shift and say goodbye karma, hi dharma, right? Next part of your life, next chapter. You are growing spiritually, right? So the relationships in your life are going to reflect on that. If you change, if you shift, what happens? The external world starts to shift, correct? Or vice versa. You start to see the external world shift and you think to yourself, it must be because I'm internally shifting. They go hand in hand. That's my point. When one changes, the other one changes. Always. Constantly. That's just common sense, right? That's not an opinion. That's a fact. So that means that all the dynamics, right, of your relationships are also going to start to shift. how you approach people, how people approach you, how you listen to people, how people listen to you, how you talk to people, how people talk to you, how you give and how you receive. Energy exchanges are about to shift. Okay? That's the lesson. That's the lesson. How do you accept that? How do you live more in your soul? Because your soul is shifting. And again, how do you trust the answers within? How do you feel safe in that? Because it's taking shelter. How do you feel safe in trusting in the information that you are receiving? Right? How do you feel safe in that? How do you feel stable? How do you trust that? How do you feel like you're not psyching your own self out, or how you're not wrong? Yeah, this is about relationships, group number 2. This is a relationship with self, most importantly, the hermit, okay? The relationship with self. You've got truth and you've got lies. Oh, and hold on a minute. I know that I'm on week 2 of being sick, so I'm sorry, but my throat did close up when I was trying to say that. Truth and lies, honesty and deception, both on the table, with relationships and self, separation, conquering drama, forgiveness. There's a huge karmic lesson here, having to do, again, with one person, or how, in general, how you interact with people. Are you honest, or do you feel like you have to put on a mask a lot? Do you feel like you have to put on this facade, this face of deception? Do you feel like you have to tiptoe around certain people? Do you feel like you have to walk on eggshells? Do you feel like you can't be fully truthful and honest? Do you feel like it's the role of the relationship, right? Do you feel like you need some separation, like you need some alone time, like you need to figure yourself out? Do you feel like it's constantly drama, like it's constantly a problem, like you're constantly fighting for yourself, or fighting for your voice, for your opinion, for your boundaries? Do you feel like you can finally be honest with someone and it's finally starting to heal and you can finally forgive, right? You can finally communicate with someone, because it could be the other way around. Maybe there is some happiness there. For one person at least, there's someone's realizing that there is a second chance, that there is a chance at talking things out, working things out, learning about the other person, learning about self, reconciliation. After a long break, or after a period of pause, of rest, of recovery, of recouping. Right now is a good time for meditation, for contemplation, for self-discovery, self-growth, self. It's a good time to be you and to be alone. All right? It's a good time for you to take yourself out on a date. You know what I mean? For you to take yourself out to the movies. Go out to eat alone. Go out on a hike alone. Go out on a car ride alone. Whatever you need to do. Just come together with your soul, group number 2. Where's your soul? What is your relationship with your soul? The part of you that's ethereal, the part of you that's immortal, the part of you that's beyond the limited 3D version. What about that relationship? You're so busy doing everything for everybody else. Maybe you have a job where you're constantly in the community. You're constantly in the face of other people. You see people all the time, right? And it's like, that's a lot of energy, right? That's a lot of energy to deal with. A lot of energy exchanges. But what about the relationship with your truth, of your soul? Like, this is a very serious reading. Very serious reading. There's a lot of change and shifting that's going to happen as far as identity shifting, timeline shifting, reality shifting, self shifting. One more. Yeah, okay, that was right there. Okay. King and Queen of Cups with the Two of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Hermit. Oh my God, it's got the Page of Swords, and then the bottom of the deck, the Hierophant. I almost said Hermit again. Hermit is so significant for you. Hierophant, loyalty, respect, tradition, marriage, values, morals. You got the Queen of Cups on the Four of Swords. The lesson is how to emotionally rest, how to emotionally detach, how to emotionally separate, how to emotionally recover. Okay? How to take care of yourself. Self-love and self-care. That's the Queen of Cups. You do have the King and Queen of Cups, though. And in between, you have rebuilding, teamwork, collaboration, honesty, truth, and integrity. Build on truth. Build on integrity. Build on loyalty. Build on respect. Build on faith. Build on values. Equal. See, this, it's all the same thing, no? Like, it's all saying the same thing. This has to be equal footed, equal grounding. It has to mesh. It has to blend. It has to flow in a natural way. It can't be unnatural. This is unnatural, right? This is tension. This is friction. This is literally like, again, walking on eggshells around a person, or just avoiding a topic, or I'd rather be quiet than fight. No, fight. Talk it out. Get it out, right? That's how this reunion is going to happen. That's how this reconciliation is going to happen. When the air is cleared, when the truth comes out, and whatever needs to be talked about gets talked about. That's this Page of Swords. The winds of change. Changes about you, changes about them, changes about the dynamic as a whole. Going back to your relationship with your soul, clearing the air on that. Being honest with what you see when you look in the mirror, right? When you meditate, when you sit and contemplate with just self. What do you see? What do you feel? What do you sense? What do you know about thyself? If you need more clarity, my website is in the description box. Otherwise, I really hope that this helped. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, group number 3. Let's see what lessons are coming up for you. Wow. Tsunami. Wake-up call. Dragon's Lair. Number 19. The Eagle King, the big picture and angelic help. Number 12. Higher power. That's the second card of that. Number 4. Rainbow blessings. Blessings are showering your life. Retreat. Protection. Wow. Number 1. And the... Wow. Group number 3. All right. You are so spiritually protected. It's not even funny. All right. There's just a huge team of light support, because you are about to you either have, or you're about to go through a lesson that's very challenging. It's going to feel like a battle. You're going to fight the dragon in the castle. It's a big boss fight, right? So that you can level up. And it puts you in a position where you trust your higher powers so much. You're like, wow. You get the big picture. You get the bird's eye view of what really happened and what's really going on. It's a lesson in protection. And knowing when to... Maybe it's not about fighting the boss. Maybe you go into this castle... Okay, you see the fight that's ahead of you, and you're like, I don't have the right armor, I don't have the right gear, I don't have enough tonics to heal. Do you get what I'm saying? I know I'm making this about a video game, but that analogy. The lesson is knowing when to back up, when to just not deal with it, when to leave it, when to drop it, when to stop giving to it, giving energy. The lesson is when to stop. Wake up call. That was the first card that came up. Tsunami. Extremely dangerous, right? Extremely destructive. Takes lives all the time. Sometimes it takes like years. The earth, wherever it hit, to recover, right? Years to rebuild the buildings that it destroys. That's how destructive this lesson is. And you're at the point where you're waking up, you're having an aha moment, an epiphany moment. Like, that's too much. It's accepting that something is out of your depth, right? That something is just too much, that it's too big, that it's not for you, and that spirit will provide elsewhere. The earthworm in this deck is literally about being closed off for me. It's about shutting down, closing off, closing the door, turning off that open sign, flipping that sign to closed, out of business hours. Like, it's 3:00 in the morning. I'm not dealing with that kind of a thing. I know it's kind of making sense. I hope, I really hope, because this is a very important message for someone. Go into the ground, okay? Like, protect yourself. Blessings are showering your life. There's a miracle in another way. Why would you stay in this dark castle? This is even a castle, okay? Why would you stay here? There's a blessing outside. Trust in your higher power. Your higher power ask for help. Ask for assistance. Do you know how many times I'll say out loud, yo, my beautiful team of light, my spirit guides, my angels, God, whatever you want to call it, okay? I need help. And trust that instantly you're going to get that help. You're going to get it. Just that's it. Let go of the control of it. Surrender to spirit right now. Retreat, back up, recover. Gather your senses, gather the courage, maybe. I don't know. But there's something here of just backing off. Things will unfold naturally. Trust spirit that things will unfold naturally, because you're being so ultra protected right now. So it's the kind of thing of like, you get stuck in traffic and you're like, crap. And you're 5 minutes late to work, but then you go down the road and you see this really bad car accident in your head, and you're thinking, if I was here 5 minutes earlier, I would have been in that car accident. And it's like this realization of, oh my God, I was protected. So yeah, you were late 5 minutes to work, but you didn't get into that car accident, that 10 car pile up. Do you get what I'm saying? So something might not be working. Something might be stopping you because your spirit's trying to protect you from a tsunami. Okay? Like that analogy. Something big and destructive that it will just tear down so much that shouldn't be torn down. The Eagle King. Your higher power is trying to give you the big picture. Like, trust. Back up. Take the time to just be with self, to just go within. Hide away. Don't put yourself out there. Protect yourself. It is okay to say no. It is okay to not engage in something. It is okay to retreat. You know what I mean? Again, I just feel like it's just out of your realm. It's too much to handle right now. So there's no sense in trying to go for it. There will be other ways that the universe will try to provide for you. Other blessings. You just got to trust. You got to trust to retreat. Yeah. Especially if you're working with an earthworm spirit animal. Like, think about an earthworm. They're so fragile. They're so delicate. But they're so important to soil. They're so important. They're so useful. There's that, symbiotic relationship between an earthworm and the soil around them, right? So that's you. Just stay in the earth right now. There's no sense in trying to come up when it's pouring rain out and there's a bunch of people running around. They're going to step on you. Do you know what I mean? I know this is a weird way of me reading. I get it. And I know that this sounds... I'm not trying to make it sound negative or trying to induce fear in someone, but it's just... Man, the universe is just giving you a lot of red flags of like, nope, stop, just stop. It ain't going to work out. It ain't going to pan out the way you want it to. And you're going to be left feeling very disappointed, almost to the point where you're going to feel like you lost or you will lose faith. And, yeah, it's going to be hard to gain that faith back in the universe. So the lesson is, again, to just know how to protect yourself, how to get those signs and synchronicities from the universe that says pause, retreat, back up, and how to trust in the higher power and the bigger picture, the angelic, spiritual help. All right? Again, however you believe in that. Look at that wake-up call. Same thing. Yep. Hang on. Hang back. Block it out. The sun and the moon, eclipse energy. The sun and the moon. I got Leo, heavy Leo energy for somebody that resonates. Yeah. If you decide to face this dragon, all right, you will come out feeling unloved, unsupported, abandoned, hurt, very hurt. And again, a loss of faith. These two people in the Five of Pentacles can go into that church. That church has food, has warmth, has medicine. They refuse for one reason or another. Either they feel like they're not worthy of it, or they feel like they don't trust in it, or they just refuse to see it. There's help from the universe that you're doing one of those three things. You got to trust. You got to hang on. You got to block what's not for you. You have to block it. Block it. Cut it out of your life, okay? Like get it, you throw it in the trash. Crumple that piece of paper, start over. I know that sucks, but that's what you're being asked to do. There's a lot of things happening behind the scenes that you don't know about. But Spirit does, and Spirit is trying to illuminate it for you. Trying to shine a light on it. Trying to give you this wake-up call. Trying to sound the trumpets. It's almost like they're screaming. They're giving you sign after sign after sign after sign. Trust the higher power. You have a great connection with Spirit. Trust in your intuition. Trust in yourself, right? Also. Because you know deep down, something ain't right. Something's confusing. Something's weird. There's a fine line with this between a dream and a nightmare. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be a nightmare. So, let the universe protect you. Let the universe, provide you with the circumstances so that you can hold back. Faith is on the bottom of the deck. Faith in Spirit, faith in your spiritual journey, your spiritual self. Faith in What needs your faith, right? What needs your loyalty? What deserves your loyalty? There's a wake-up call, possibly with finances, material things, security, stability, a job, something along those lines, okay? Possibly for someone. For someone, it's a wake-up call with a Taurus or as a Taurian self. Someone else, it's a wake-up call as far as time and investment in work and effort in a situation. You need to back up. You're going to end up putting too much pressure on yourself, putting too much on your plate. You're going to feel overwhelmed. All right? And you might trip up. You might make a mistake. You might lose more than you gained. I'm telling you, there's a warning, like flashing lights here. Okay. Here's the thing. You don't want this. You want this. Okay. You want this. This is the ultimate stability, the ultimate security, the ultimate sustainability. If you want that, then you have to be willing to say no to this stubbornness to accept help, or this getting caught in a situation where you are left behind, where you are abandoned, where you are unloved, unsupported. Death. I said it. You have to cut. It's time to cut ties. It's time to block something out, to end it. Mourn it, grieve it, bury it, say your goodbyes. Put that last nail in the coffin. Move on. Because a lesson is also how to be happy with self. How to feel successful with self. How to feel abundant with self. How to know yourself. How to illuminate yourself. How to guide yourself, right? How to lead yourself where you need to go, in the direction that you need to go. How to trust in your inner compass. You have to separate from situations that are not protective of self and that are it's just too much unknown, too much uncertainty, too much confusion. You have a weird, deep fear, okay? I shouldn't say weird because that sounds like I'm judging you or something. You have a misplaced, that's a better word. Thank you, Spirit Guides. A misplaced fear of separation. Like this is almost like separation anxiety. And so you put yourself in positions where you continue to take more and take more and take more and take more. And the next thing you know, you're overwhelmed and you got a whole plate of pressure and an overwhelming sense of responsibility. To keep going, to keep pushing yourself past your limits. That's not very self-protective. That's not very self-loving, right? So I think a good lesson is to get the courage to co-create with the universe, to trust in your co-creation with the universe, and to have the faith that if you are asked to go on a new journey, to seek that protection, right? Especially with self-authority, self-discipline, self-power. Jeez, there goes my throat. I'm sorry. Leadership of your life, control of your life, not letting that fire burn out or just become destructive like a tsunami, right? You want to be able to take that step and know that there's an invisible bridge there between this point and that point that Spirit has so that you don't fall. That requires faith and understanding so that you don't take the wrong one, because maybe there are two paths that look like this. One of them has the bridge, the other one doesn't. How do you know which one is which? Well, first of all, self. Trust in self. Test it. Also, there's nothing wrong with putting your hand down and saying, is there a bridge here? Or is this just an illusion? right? Question things. Ask questions at this time. Be curious. Be confident in the actions that you take, in your passion, in your drive, in your motivation. Be confident in what you do, okay? Because the next step that you take can either be a step that you know you're confident in and you have the spirit of support, or something that you did because you thought that you had to, and then you faced a dragon that you weren't ready for because it was too much uncertainty. Don't be afraid. Where is he? Where was he? Right here. Don't be afraid to be the emperor, okay? Don't be afraid to protect yourself, to set the boundaries, to set the limits, to be assertive, to be aggressive, to be dominating your space. Hope that helped. If you need more clarification, my website is in the description box for personal readings, or you can check out another reading on the channel. I hope this helped. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one.